Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a stack of sources, pull out the key nuggets, and help you get well-informed fast. Today, we're diving into something that, frankly, affects almost all of us: tech boundaries and digital wellness. Our main source is the Pythoness programmer's newsletters from July. She spent the month focused on helping creatively unblocked professionals.
Right, especially those who find tech maybe more draining than helpful.
Exactly. People who feel anxious or just overwhelmed by it all.
Yeah, the whole idea is figuring out how to design your digital life so it actually boosts your creativity, not constantly sucking your energy or getting in the way of your flow.
Making tech work for your brain, not against it.
Precisely. And that's super important for neurodivergent creatives too, because that digital chaos, it can be really disruptive for them, much more than just an annoyance.
Absolutely. So if you've ever felt swamped by notifications, lost in digital clutter, or just, stressed by your tech, you're definitely in the right place. Let's dig in. So to kick things off, the Pythoness programmer Amanda Nelson, she starts right at the foundation, figuring out what digital wellness means for you personally.
Digital wellness, the way she puts it, it's about creating a tech experience that feels supportive, empowering, even like joy-filled.
So joy-filled with tech, that sounds ambitious.
It can be. But it's especially key for those neurodivergent creatives we mentioned. For them, digital overwhelm isn't just distracting. It can feel like, 1,000 tiny needles. It drains energy, causes decision fatigue.
That makes sense. So, okay, someone's listening, they feel that drain. Where do they even begin? How do you pinpoint where the boundaries should go?
Well, Amanda suggests starting with what she calls a digital wellness audit.
An audit sounds a bit intense.
It's not as bad as it sounds. It's really just taking a few minutes to ask yourself some specific questions like, what digital stuff really drains my energy the most?
Okay.
Or which notifications could I honestly live without? Maybe even thrive without? And importantly, how does using my phone actually make me feel energy-wise during the day?
So it's about identifying the culprits.
Exactly. Not just listing annoyances, but really seeing clearly what depletes you versus what might actually energize you, finding those specific pain points.
That's a really practical first step. So thinking about those overwhelming notifications, which seem universal, what's like the simplest first action Amanda suggests? Something easy to do today.
It really boils down to setting clear notification strategies, building phone systems that aren't constantly pulling you down. It's practicing a kind of digital minimalism.
Not necessarily disconnecting completely, though.
No, not at all. It's about making sure the connections you do have are serving you, supporting your focus, not, sabotaging it, being really deliberate.
Okay. And that first action step?
Yes. It's beautifully simple. Set one small boundary today. That's it.
One small boundary.
Yep. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. Maybe just turn off notifications for, say, 2 hours while you focus. Or delete just one app isn't doing you any favors.
Start small. Build momentum.
Exactly. Build confidence. Create those intentional habits step by step.
All right, so we've got some foundational boundaries starting to form. Now, how do we actually design our digital environment to support that creative flow? This sounds interesting.
Yeah, this is where it gets really practical. We're talking about your digital workspace. That's, your personalized setup, all your tools, file systems.
Okay.
And Amanda's core philosophy here, simpler is always better.
Simpler is better. Why is that so key?
Well, think about it. Every single digital item, every file, every app icon that doesn't have a clear purpose or a designated home, it's like a tiny tax on your brain.
A brain tax. I like that.
Yeah. It constantly pulls your attention, drains that creative energy. And the problem is, most digital setups are built for very linear thinking. But creative work, it's messy, nonlinear. That mismatch leads to lost ideas buried in folders, broken focus because things aren't visually clear, drained energy from switching contexts, and just decision fatigue from having too many options staring you in the face.
Okay, so how do we make it brain-friendly? How do we make it intuitive, not an obstacle course?
It's about making it feel as natural as, say, your favorite physical desk or studio space. First up is the visual hierarchy principle.
Visual hierarchy.
Yeah. Your most important creative work needs to be visually obvious. Amanda uses zones: primary, secondary, and archive.
Okay, break that down.
So primary is like your main stage, clean, minimal, where your current project lives, no clutter. Secondary is for quick access stuff like references you might need to glance at. And the archive. That's for finished work, future resources, out of sight, but easy to find.
So your brain knows where to focus.
Precisely. It reduces that mental, where is that thing, scramble. Then there's color coding for creative flow.
Using color, how does that work?
It's about creating visual harmony and also clear boundaries. Like maybe you theme your work Slack or browser with your brand colors so you instantly recognize, okay, this is work mode. Or you could use different browser profiles with different colors. Maybe a calm blue theme for deep focus work and a more vibrant one for research or brainstorming.
Subtle cues for your brain.
Exactly.
Why?
Helps you switch gears without even thinking about it.
That's clever. But what about the sheer volume of stuff? Files, downloads, documents everywhere. How do we tackle that digital clutter monster?
Yes. That brings us to the everything has a home rule. This is fundamental.
Everything has a home.
Every single file, tool, resource it needs, a designated logical spot. This massively cuts down on cognitive load.
That hidden mental effort, just trying to find things or decide where to put them.
You got it. Amanda's system is influenced by Tiago Forte's PMRA method. Have you heard of that?
PMRA. Remind me quickly.
Sure. It stands for Projects Active Stuff You're Working On Now. Areas ongoing responsibilities like finances or health, resources reference material, things you might need later, and archive completed work, old materials.
Projects, areas, resources, archive, PRA. Okay.
And the key insight Amanda highlights is how crucial that archive is.
Yeah.
Moving finished stuff out of your active workspace is huge for creative flow.
Why is that so important, just getting it out of the way?
It's more than that. It creates mental space. It reduces decision fatigue because you're not constantly seeing and processing old projects. It's like clearing your actual desk makes room for the new stuff. Mental liberation, really.
Mental liberation, I like that. But okay, someone listening might have like years of digital stuff piled up. How do you even start applying everything has a home without getting totally bogged down in organizing instead of creating?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
The key is definitely starting small. Don't try to organize your entire digital life overnight.
New.
Pick one small area, maybe just your downloads folder or your computer desktop. Tackle just that. The sense of relief you get from clearing even one space is usually pretty motivating.
Makes sense. Start small, feel the win.
Exactly. And another related idea is setting up multiple workspaces for different creative modes. This often ties into your energy levels, which is super helpful if you deal with chronic illness or just, daily energy ups and downs.
Different workspaces for different energy levels. Tell me more.
So, for instance, you might have a deep creative mode for days when your energy is maybe average or low.
Yeah.
Minimal interface, no social media distractions, just focus.
Okay.
There may be a research and inspiration mode for really low energy days, more passive, maybe multiple tabs open, visual bookmarks, just absorbing info. And for high energy days, an iteration or refinement mode where you might have tools side by side, quick access to different versions, really getting into the details.
So you're tailoring the environment to meet your brain where it's at on any given day.
That's the goal, making it adaptive.
That sounds incredibly powerful. So the action step here for you listening is audit your current workspace, maybe sketch out your ideal one, and then just implement one change today. Even just creating that first archive folder can be, well, a game changer.
It really can. And Amanda mentions a specific tool she finds helpful for unifying things. The Momentum Chrome extension.
Momentum.
Yeah, it gives you a consistent new tab page across different browsers or profiles. You can customize bookmarks, themes. It just provides that instant visual anchor, reducing the friction of switching modes.
Nice. A bit of consistency in the chaos.
Right. And she also shares her own example using Obsidian, which is a pretty powerful note-taking tool, like a second brain for some people.
Okay.
She set up a system with a browser extension to clip articles and a little Python script, don't worry, you don't need a code, that automatically sorts hundreds of these clips into her archive. The point isn't the specific tech, it's seeing how even simple automation can act like your own research assistant. Saves tons of time and mental energy.
Automation as an assistant. That leads us nicely into the next piece. Getting tech to truly work for us. We've set boundaries, designed spaces. Now, how do we automate without it feeling like the machines are taking over or adding more stress?
Right. This is where Amanda talks about respectful automation.
Respectful automation. I like the sound of that.
Me too. It's about using technology to amplify your creativity, but without overwhelming your system. The big problem she points out is that most automation is designed for very rigid, linear tasks.
But creative work isn't like that.
Exactly. It's unpredictable. So if your automation is too rigid, you end up feeling controlled by it. It breaks your flow. You get decision fatigue from managing the automation itself. It can backfire.
So what does brain-friendly, respectful automation look like then? How do we build in that flexibility?
The key insight here is automation that adapts to your energy levels, not forcing you into a one-size-fits-all system.
Adapting to energy levels. How does that work in practice?
Amanda maps her systems around three basic energy states. High energy mode. This is when you tackle complex stuff, maybe creative brainstorming, system building. She uses tools like make.com, that's a visual tool for building automated workflows, allows for flexibility or deep work in Obsidian. Medium energy mode. This is for more routine things, like content scheduling. Here she might use custom scripts for common tasks, or a Stream Deck.
A Stream Deck. What's that?
Oh, it's like a little physical keypad with customizable buttons. You press one button, and it can launch an app, run a script, type text. Basically, shortcuts for complex or repetitive actions. Saves a lot of clicking and remembering. Low energy mode. This is all about minimal interaction. Passive systems, like that momentum dashboard we talked about, or the archive systems. Things that keep working without needing much input from you.
That is such a smart, human-centered way to think about automation. Okay, so are there core principles for this gentle automation approach?
Yes, she outlines a gentle automation framework with three main principles. Principle one, start simple, scale thoughtfully.
Start simple, like the boundaries.
Exactly, her very first automation. Just using Gmail filters to sort emails automatically. Super basic, but it significantly reduced her inbox overwhelm and freed up mental space. Proves that small steps matter.
Okay, principle two.
Principle two, build in recovery time. This is crucial. She schedules specific catch-up days, like Tuesdays and Fridays, for rest or admin tasks. It's about aligning with your natural energy cycles.
It's like giving your brain permission not to be on all the time.
Totally. It's acknowledging that creativity needs downtime, needs space. It's not about nonstop output. And principle three, don't get overwhelmed when errors occur.
Ah, the dreaded error messages.
Right, they can totally derail you.
Yeah.
So she sets up a system, like an email label, specifically for automation errors, maybe from make.com or other tools. All the errors get collected in one place.
So you can deal with them in batches.
Yes, when you actually have the mental bandwidth, instead of letting each little error notification interrupt your flow and cause error overwhelm.
That is brilliant. Building in grace for the tech and for yourself. So Amanda's advice for you listening is basically map your own energy patterns, then design your automation around those high, medium, and low states. Personalize it.
Absolutely. And this isn't just theory for her. She talks openly about how managing chronic illness makes this adaptation essential. Sometimes she realized the best boundary, the best automation, is super simple, like deciding not to use her laptop before 9 a.m. if she had a rough night's sleep.
Honoring her body's rhythm over some rigid productivity rule.
Exactly. It's self-compassion in practice within our tech lives, a powerful lesson.
Okay, we've covered boundaries, workspace design, respectful automation. Finally, how do we make it all stick? How do we build digital habits that actually sustain us and our creativity long-term without leading to burnout?
This is about sustainable digital habits, tech practices that support you over the long haul without draining you, habits that can grow and adapt as your needs change.
Because the usual approach often fails, right?
Yeah, the problem is most digital habit advice focuses on short-term productivity hacks. Those often aren't sustainable. They can lead to digital fatigue, decision overload, and you lose creative momentum when the rigid routine inevitably breaks or just doesn't fit anymore.
So what's the alternative? How do we create adaptive routines that prevent burnout?
Amanda uses a gentle consistency framework here. Again, three principles. Principle one, start with your natural rhythms.
Aligning with energy again.
Yes. Plan your tech use around your typical energy flow. Maybe gentle check-ins in the morning when energy might be lower. Deep creative work midday during your peak. Reflection or winding down in the evening.
Principle two.
Principle two, build in recovery time. We touched on this with automation, but it's vital for habits too. Think about maybe a weekly digital Sabbath a day or part of a day off screens, regular micro breaks during focused work, maybe every 90 minutes, and even a quick weekly digital workspace cleanup to reset things.
And the third principle.
Principle three, adapt to your changing needs. This is key for sustainability. Your routines should change. Do monthly reviews, what's working, what's not. Adjust for seasonal energy shifts if you experience those. Modify your systems when life throws you a curveball illness, a new project, moving house. Rigidity is the enemy here.
That framework leads to really practical routines, doesn't it? Like maybe a 15-minute morning routine just for essentials and setting one tech boundary. Or a 90-minute work session routine with clear goals and those micro breaks built in. It makes it feel manageable.
Definitely. And to help keep things on track, she offers a sustainable digital habits checklist. It includes things like weekly digital wellness check-ins, reviewing boundaries, tidying workspaces, checking automation, and then deeper monthly or quarterly reviews to really assess if your systems are still serving you and supporting your growth.
So it's an ongoing process, not a one-and-done fix. Connecting this to the bigger picture, for long-term resilience, she also introduces an evolving practice framework. What's that about?
It builds on everything we've discussed. 3 ideas here. Start simple, scale thoughtfully. Again, begin with basic routines. Only add complexity if it genuinely helps.
Yeah.
Don't over-engineer things from day one. Honor your creative cycles. Build systems that support all phases of creativity, that initial messy ideation, the focused creation, the detailed refinement, the final completion. Each phase needs different kinds of support. Build for resilience. Design systems that still work, at least partially, even on your absolute worst days.
Systems that work on bad days. How?
It involves things like graceful degradation, where your system automatically simplifies or becomes less demanding when your energy is low, and having clear recovery protocols, simple steps to get back on track after you've been derailed so you don't just stay stuck.
Wow. Building for resilience. That feels really profound.
It is. And maybe the most insightful point Amanda makes towards the end is realizing that emotional intelligence is a real key to tech confidence.
Emotional intelligence, not technical skill.
Not primarily, no. It's not about knowing every single button. It's about understanding how you feel when interacting with tech. Recognizing when a company's design choices are maybe making you feel anxious on purpose. It's about reframing mistakes, not as failures, but as learning opportunities. And crucially, building systems that align with your emotional state and natural rhythms, not just your tasks.
That shifts the perspective entirely.
It really does. She shares this lovely story about creating tech guides for her mother-in-law. By focusing on the emotional aspects, first addressing the fear and anxiety, before diving into the how-to, she helped her mother-in-law transform that fear into genuine confidence. It highlights how much the human, emotional side matters in our relationship with technology.
That's a powerful reminder. Okay, so we've covered a lot today. From those initial boundaries, designing workspaces, using automation respectfully, all the way to building sustainable, emotionally intelligent habits.
Yeah, the core message really is that your creativity is valuable. It deserves a digital environment that actively nurtures it rather than hinders it.
Technology should empower your unique brain, make space for that deep work, and support practices that grow with you.
It's about being intentional, tuning into your own rhythms, and building systems, even simple ones, that genuinely support your overall well-being. Cutting through the overwhelm.
Reclaiming that energy for what matters.
So as you think about everything we've discussed, maybe consider, what's one principle, just one thing from this deep dive, that you could bring into your tech life this week? Something to start honoring your unique rhythm.
A great question to ponder. We hope this deep dive has given you some powerful insights and maybe some practical steps you can take today for a more joyful, more productive relationship with your tech. Until next time, keep exploring what works for your brain.